going to do a walkthrough of the current tutorial for Paragon as it's listed and playable as 2018 in January. No edits or anything, just quick live play. I'm going to give some commentary, some opinions on it. Again, the point that I'm going for here is just to help onboarding with players with existing systems. If people want specific help with things or explanation things, you can leave comments once the video is posted.
Prepare yourself.
Okay, I like the text box that first comes up, introduces who you're playing, just so new people know this is not what it's going to look like when you log in, load into the actual gameplay. Good tutorial map. I think some of the text boxes and stuff they do is good, but some of it's a little bit out of place, I think. Good explanation of the core here. The objective of the game is to take the core. Core is protected by a series of turrets, and the last line of defense here is your inhibitor. Good explanation of the inhibitor. And now we'll get into turret or tower. And you'll have 2 levels of towers before you get to your inhibitor and your inhib. One thing they don't talk about here, or maybe they do later, is and what's a lot more defined in this map than a regular map is your boundaries of your towers or your turrets. Don't go into an enemy turret or boundary area without having minions. Here's a good example of a minion wave. One thing that's missing here is last hit mechanics. So you can see as I damage a minion and they want you to damage the minion, it's not taking damage from the regular minions, my silver minions. It's only taking damage when I inflict it. So a minion will degrade as you damage it and as your allied minions damage it. And when it gets to this state here with the red health bar, it's going to be in a last hit stats, which means one more attack will take that minion off the map. Last hits is an important mechanic in Paragon because that's how you get bonus gold. And also, once you take the range minion out, as I have just done, then if you have 1 or 2 more melee minions playing on your team than the minion wave will push and slow push on its own, which is a good thing because you need to be able to rotate to other part of the maps. So that's how you would set up a rotation, is by putting your lane in a position that it will push on its own without you there, by taking out range minions first, making sure you have 1 or 2 more melee minions on your side than the enemy side. If you don't, you take out an extra 1 or 2, obviously, and then you'll be able to go where you need to go on the map. As I said before, this does go over it. Make sure that you attack a tower only when a allied minion wave goes into the tower, and it's really nicely outlined here with this green banner. And again, for the sake of the tutorial, my minion wave's not going to damage the tower. I have to damage it. Depending on your situation, you can get into a couple different scenarios here. You can try to take out the range minions so you get a little bit of farm, and then damage the tower so you can take it out. You can only focus on the tower, and then when their enemy tower takes your minions all out, make sure you get out. And I will play later on. I'll record a regular gameplay video The one thing I don't like about the tutorial is the way they engage you with learning your abilities. Again, you'll see a better representation of that when I play a bot match, but you get to see more than one ability at a time when you begin playing. This is only exist in this fashion. There'll be some button combinations that you have to hit depending on your controller layout to get into it. Here they just say, okay, we're going to give you an ability. It even gives you to wanting to open up the shop, quote unquote, to get the skill. And I'm sitting here tapping my shop button, my touchpad on my PlayStation. Doesn't open. It's technically things that's already open, so all I have to do is hit the R1 to equip it. You also on the right hand side with the tutorials building up here on the right hand side, you'll get descriptions of your abilities. Now it's telling me what it wants me to do to use my ability. And again, a more realistic example here would be if they had the tutorial go ahead and have the minions damage each other. So here, just out of habit, I'm going through and I am playing ranged minions first to take them off the map. That way, if this was a regular game, this wave, now that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 3, plus my ranged, this wave would just build up and build up and build up. If you really wanted to push your lane really, really slowly, then you would only, which I believe most people refer to as a slow push, you would only wait to hit enemy minions, when their health bar is in red for last hits, when your minions have done all the damage. You literally only one hit or last hit the minion. Again, a really nice defined area here for you're about to enter the enemy tower. If I were to damage the steel here, I don't know if it'll do it or not. Yes. So it's a good reminder here that if you target an enemy inside their own tower, the aiming mechanics of the tower is going to target you. Instead, it's going to forget about the minions. So a lot of enemies will strafe in front of the tower to body block you from it or keep you from hitting it. That way, if you hit it, it'll automatically take aim at you. So I'll have to get out of here. Let it reset. And again, I think it's a poor quality here that they don't have the steel try to engage you in any kind of way. In a bot game, we'll see better intelligence from the AI. And then I already talked about, again, it wants me to tap my tap screen button to open up the quote-unquote store or shop to buy the ability. The system already thinks I have it open, so really all I have to do is push my R1 and L1 to activate it. Another thing that they don't go over here is you'll notice in the bottom of the screen where my abilities are at, they have little leveling pips or markers underneath it. So my middle ability there, the biggest diamond shape of them all, the little blue thing, that would be what you'll learn later on is my ultimate. R1 and L1. R1's one of my casting abilities, and then R2 is my regular attack here. So when you level, instead of the game telling you what abilities to unlock, I think I have to kill steel here. I wasn't talking, instead of paying attention, so I'm going to get rid of the steel first, and then I'll attack the core. But in the regular game, instead of it telling you what abilities are unlocked when, you get to pick what you're going to unlock, and you can keep track of what you unlocked and how many times you quote-unquote leveled it up. By following the pips or the trackers underneath each ability. So you can see I have each ability leveled up here to a level 1. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to see if it's releasing friendly wave on its own. Trying to figure out the mechanics I have here. So I think it's just I destroy the wave, push it into the core, And again, this is a more fair representation of what you're going to see in the game. Is there's no color indicator here of a boundary marker, so you just have to just notice this change in terrain that'll mark your passage into safe area into the tower, and you'll get targeted. The core has the same mechanics as the other turrets. If you target an enemy inside the core, it's going to change its aim from whatever it's shooting at minion wise to you. And if there's nothing else to shoot at, it's going to target you. So there. This would be a really good part of the tutorial to show you how to build a wave and siege the core. But again, it looks like it's only set to release a wave when my wave gets destroyed. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to up it one end. I'm trying to use this front minion to block my other minions to get the wave to build up, but it pushed a little bit on its own. And it takes, you can see it takes a while. We only get 1 or 2 minions in at a time, which is pretty realistic. Here comes another wave. You know, Sylvan has a really good like 8-part series that goes with the map here. Talks about buying points and stuff better. So I used my ult there. I thought the enemy minion wave was going to push out there, so I was trying to use my ult to pull the wave out of the core sooner, beat it down, clear it sooner. I really feel like this is the part that doesn't let me play the gameplay like I normally would, with building up a wave and pushing in. It's just really artificial feeling.
The enemy core is under attack.
I'm just going to take, there we go. Alright, so that's a good shot of the existing tutorial. As you can see in my description, my channel, my goal is to try to help onboard and keep people on. So if you're having trouble with this tutorial, or this tutorial inspires you to ask questions, leave the comments below in the discussion section. I'll interact with them as they get posted. Next video I'm going to do an upload of a bots game, and then just talk a little bit more about what comes to mind loading into an actual bot game to get some practice for newer players. Thanks for checking out the tutorial.